Hey there, in this video, we're going to be talking about the 5 fundamentals of health. Look, if there's one thing we know to be true is that the world has an incredible way of overcomplicating just about everything.
That it does.
Health is no exception. And so what we have done is we have really looked at, over our years of experience, what are the fundamental things that patients need to understand to really achieve the highest level of health possible. And so we actually have a PDF that you can download. We would highly encourage you to download it, print it off, put it on your fridge or somewhere prominent that you can see, just as a daily reminder to really solidify these 5 fundamentals. Everything we do at our clinic, we try to reflect these 5 fundamentals. And so these 5 fundamentals are pretty straightforward and pretty simple, but we want to just highlight and hit them real quick with you. The first one being that we understand that health comes from the inside. Look, it's no mystery that our bodies were designed to be self-sustaining, self-healing. And so whenever we look at things that are done, whether it's a surgery or whether it's chiropractic care, really at the end of the day, we're not the ones responsible for the healing. That's your body's job. Your body is what does the healing. And that's the incredible thing, right? You've said, I've heard Dr. Allen say at times, our bodies make doctors look incredible.
Yeah. The amazing body that we have makes all the surgeries and everything else that we try to do to make it better. We make them look real good.
Yeah. So understand this, because the reason why we share this first and foremost is because the outside-in approach will never get you to true health. There's no sort of magic pill or supplement, for that matter, that you're going to take that's going to somehow substitute for or make up for your body's own innate ability to take care of itself. And so understand that, because that subtle shift really isn't so subtle. Understanding that and approaching it from that standpoint of really making sure that we're taking care of our bodies to be the best that they can, because ultimately when we do that, our bodies are able to take care of themselves.
And the other 4 principles that we talk about here, or that we're going to share with you, really help support that initial.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And the second one is what?
The second one is
simplicity.
Simplicity and consistency. It doesn't take crazy major things that we have to do to stay healthy. It takes simple little healthy habits. Simple things that we do on a regular basis over time is what makes us healthy, or very unhealthy.
Yeah.
So the idea is we want to make sure if we keep things simple and we do the right things, guess what? It's not that hard to stay healthy.
Well, and what we want to do is steer patients away from that type of thinking where, okay, I'm going to really hit this hard for a week or 2 weeks and then stop. That's the wrong type of thinking. That's the wrong type of mentality. We want people to think about it day in and day out. What can you do consistently? What are some simple little steps that you can take and begin to grow and develop in? And I think what that does is takes pressure off of people feeling like they've got to do something terribly extreme, right? Simplicity and consistency will win every time. The third one is that we need to make sure our bodies are functioning correctly, both mechanically and chemically. Look, it's natural that our bodies are both mechanical in nature and chemical in nature. And so we want to make sure that obviously things are functioning correctly in terms of our overall structure, but we also want to make sure things internally are functioning correctly in terms of our biochemistry, making sure that, in terms of our hormones and our metabolism and all the different things there are functioning correctly, okay? The fourth is we want to make sure that we are mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in tune. What we mean by that is we want to make sure that we're managing stress effectively, right?
Absolutely. In fact, a friend of mine recently shared a term with me that I absolutely loved, and it talks about our ability to manage our mental status, or a lot of the diseases that we suffer from in our culture come from mental mismanagement.
Yeah.
If we're stressed, we eat, or we react in certain ways based upon things going on around us. Whereas if we can mentally and spiritually be in tune, we can we can see things for what they truly are and tune out the bad stuff, address the things that we can control, and not worry about the things we can't.
And just make better choices.
Consistently,
right?
That's right.
And then last but not least, this should go without saying, but again, we put this on there because it's so important, is that we're fueling ourselves properly. And again, far too many people do not fuel themselves properly. They eat for pleasure. And again, We understand that's a very
okay.
natural thing, right? But we want to make sure that we start shifting our focus away from just constantly feeding ourselves for pleasure, and instead fueling ourselves for whatever we want to accomplish that day, that week, that month, and in our lives. And so really that's it. Those are the 5 fundamentals of health. Health comes from the inside, not the outside. Our approach needs to be one of simplicity and consistency. We need to make sure our bodies are functioning correctly, both mechanically and chemically. We need to make sure we're mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in tune, and that we're fueling ourselves properly. Again, make sure you print this off. Keep it somewhere prominent that you can see, just to remind yourself so you can really develop those 5 fundamentals. That's something, again, we want to make sure that we are teaching clearly to our patients at the clinic, and really helping you master these 5 fundamentals, because as you do that, that is going to really help set the stage for your very best and very highest level of health possible. So anything you want to add into that?
No, because just other than the fact that your highest level of health is going to allow you to have your very best life.
Yeah.
You know, without sounding cliche or anything like that, it's true. You know, we want people to live a wonderful life, a happy life, a fulfilled life.
Yep.
So to do that is just a bunch of simple little things for us to kind
5
of
fundamentals.
understand.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Well, thanks for watching, and we look forward to sharing more with you guys. Talk to you soon.